All right, so good morning. And so let's have a belt or strap today, as well as a couple blocks. Well, I've only got one block. Well, that'll probably be enough. Anyway, so belt or strap, and maybe a block. And let's start sitting in Sukhasana with the crossed legs. Using those arms alongside, lengthening up, feeling space coming between the vertebrae, space in the hip sockets. Whatever shifting and squinging you want to do. And then finishing with that, letting the hands rest on the knee. Inhale and exhale, pouring down the sides of the neck off the tops of the shoulders, long through the top of the head, softening and closing your eyes. Bringing your attention a little more inside yourself. Feeling the rise and fall of the breath. With every breath, letting go of the rest of the day. Letting go of whatever else is there trying to get your attention. Just listening to the sound of your own breath. And then you'll reach out wide through the collarbones, through the fingertips. Breathing the arms up. And breathing them down. Let's do that twice more. And then we'll breathe the arms up and interlocking the fingers. Turn the palms up. Pull those elbows wide, shoulder blades grounding down. And then pressing up through the base of the hands, even as you feel the shoulder blades pouring down. So don't force the arms straight if they're not quite ready to get there. And then there's also squeezing in toward the ears with the upper arms. Lengthening long and flat against the wall behind you. We're going to side bend over toward the left, stretching out the right side. So don't force yourself to go further than you can in this position. And then we'll let that left arm go, hand to the floor, deepening into the side bending. And up, changing the cross of the legs. And we will breathe the arms up to interlock the fingers once again. Pulling the elbows wide, feeling all that space along the sides of the neck. Keeping as much of that space as you can as you extend the arms up, grounding down, shoulder blades to the sitting bones into the earth. And then side bending over toward the right, lengthening out the left side. And releasing the hands, your right hand comes to the floor to help you deepen into the side bend. And let's come forward. Nice big round breaths into the back of the body. Then coming up, unfurling the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae, back up on top of the sitting bones. Inhale and exhale. And then let's extend our legs straight out in front. And since we have that belt, we will lasso the feet. But keep the feet active. So keep pressing through the ball of the foot into the belt. And then coming forward any amount. Not being too aggressive. We don't want to overstretch the lower back. Big full breaths, encouraging more space. And up. And we will come up and downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. And walking the dog or anything else you want to do. So the arms here are a little bit like the interlocked fingers overhead that we were doing. And then of course there's our downward facing dog legs, a lot like that forward bend in Dandasana we just did. And then let's be in the best downward facing dog of this moment. Nothing moving but the breath. And lengthening forward to the plank, stretching long and flat against the ceiling. So we're going to be coming on to all fours after this and doing some cats and cows. So if you need to come out of this plank sooner, just bring the knees down onto all fours sooner. And if we're still here, we'll see if we can take 4 more breaths. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then setting the knees down on all fours. Shift your weight a little bit more over the knees to give those wrists a break as we cat and cow. And putting any sort of forward and back you want into that, and maybe circling around to the side. We're going through your spine. And then finishing with this, and we will Asta Namaskar, knees, chest, chin to the ceiling. Hinging the hips up and back with a big cow back, bend the elbows, pull the shoulders forward, and then down, hips go up and back a little more, and sliding out into the small cobra, and lengthening down. So lighten up on the hands, making the upper back and back muscles do a little more work as we do 3 small cobras. Inhale and exhale, lengthening up. Inhale and exhale, lengthening down. And also reaching through the legs at the same time. And once more. Then as we make our way back up to downward facing dog, we do a big indulgent cobra. And then there we are, downward facing dog. And looking between the hands to jump or step forward. Into the concave, back halfway up. And then lengthen out and over. Taking 3 deep breaths here. And coming up to standing, big front body yawn. And arms down, long through the top of the head. All right, so let's make sure you've got your belt up near the front of the mat where you can reach it, and also the block or box. All right, here we are to Tadasana. Namaste, steadiness. Circling the shoulders to interlock the fingers, lengthening up the front of the body to lift the chest, to lift the chin. And coming over. And releasing the arms. And let's step back with the left leg so we're in the right lunge. And taking a twist to the right. Drawing that right outer hip a little back and down as you twist up and open. And a big reach around with the right arm, bringing the left knee down and Vinyasa. And a big circle or half circle around with the arms to Namaste in front. And as if we're going to step forward with the left leg, but we'll bring that left leg through, coming down onto the floor with the left leg straight, right leg bent. All right, some of you are familiar with this little pattern. And then we get our belt. It's going around the right foot. Take a moment, flattening the left leg into the floor, long through the top of the head, extending that right leg up. So tilting back a little diagonal as needed, but we're thinking vertical, as if we could reach both the sole of the right foot and the top of the head straight up to the ceiling. But then we have whatever angle we need there for our body and for reality. I'm breathing here. And then we'll roll down, contracting into the lower belly, reaching away through the left leg, pressing away through the right leg to resist. And here we are on the floor. Supta Padangusthasana number 1, but we're going to roll up and down. Let's go for 4 more times. So press that leg away. So if you just get here with the upper body lifted, that's fine, just being there. Maybe you can get all the way up. And then coming down, resisting, pressing away through the backs of both legs, reaching long through the heel. And then as we're rolling up, consciously pull the abdominal muscles into the spine, and similarly as we're rolling down, really making those work. And then let's do one more. And then here we are on the floor, Supta Padangusthasana number 1, maybe lightening up your grip on the belt. Still being very active and present in your body. And then we'll put the belt into the right hand, bringing that right leg out to the diagonal side. Doing your best to keep standing on the left leg. Of course, the belt is holding our right leg out there, but you also want to hold the right leg out there with your muscles. So it might be 95% the belt holding your leg, but we still want that 5% of engaging with our body. And then bringing that leg back up to the center. Belt into the left hand, right arm out to the side from the shoulder. Taking that right leg across, rolling onto the outer left hip. Nice long reach from the right heel out the right fingertips, drawing the abdominal muscles in and up to feel into that twist to the right through the spine. Coming back up to center. All right, and then we'll roll back up, resting that right leg away, shoulder blades into the back as we come up, and we'll set the right leg down, setting the belt aside, and coming back up into the forward bend where we just came from. And taking a few breaths here. The legs might feel very differently at this point, but still finding that balance between the two. Then we're going to step back with our left leg again, coming up in the warrior number 1. Feeling that circle of breath here. And let's reach the arms behind and interlock the fingers, rolling the shoulders out, lifting up the front of the body to lift the chest, to lift the chin. And then we'll lengthen out over the right thigh, reaching back through the hands, long line from the top of the head to the hands to the left foot. And then we'll release the hands, stepping back to the plank through the Vinyasa, any version, downward facing dog. And maybe noticing how good it feels to those belt gripping hands to be flattened out into the floor here. And let's lift our right leg up, reaching long through the heel. Bending the knee dog at the high fire height. And then through to the lunge. And this time we'll straighten up the front leg into Parsvottanasana. So maybe the blocks for the hands or just one block for the left hand. Grounding your left heel down like the warrior 1. Straighten up that right leg. And let's do the long flat back for a few breaths. And then pouring over that right leg. And you can stay here or maybe taking it up into a standing split, shifting forward and coming up, really pulling up with the left leg, pouring down through the top of the head.
And we'll bring that left leg down, or else stepping forward into the forward bend, taking a concave back. Inhale and exhale. Coming up to standing, big front body yawn. And around to Namaste. And then we'll do the tree pose, bringing the right leg up. So if you want some balancing assistance, moving to there or bringing that chair over to you. All right. So I'm doing my real right leg up here. And here we are, standing into Dasana Samastiti. And reaching down through the left leg, bringing that right leg. Long reach out through that right inner thigh, but keeping the back of the pelvis level like we were flattened against the floor as we just were. And balancing here, either no arm balance, or maybe you've got that left hand still resting lightly on a chair, wall, desk, or something. A few more breaths here. And then lift a little higher to bring that right leg down. Inhale and exhale, Samastiti steadiness. And then moving back to the top of the mat, up there. Whoop. And we will come over. Big lift up. And diving over. And a little concave back, inhale and exhale. Now we'll step back with the right leg. And taking a twist to the left. And then feeling that left outer hip pulling a little back and down. Anchoring as you twist up and open. And a big reach around with that left arm, bringing the right knee down. Vinyasa, the kneeling. Every breath and action through the body. Half circle around to Namaste. And then stepping forward, but then continuing the right leg comes through. We come down onto the floor with our left leg bent and right leg straight. And then getting your belt and putting the belt around the left foot, bending the left leg up. So finding where your body needs to be, how much angle, how vertical can you get. Really pressing down into the back of the right leg along the floor, reaching through the heel. Inhale and exhale. And then we'll roll down.
contracting into the lower abdomen, pressing away with the legs with as much control as you can, calming down. And then we'll do that 4 times. So you can just kind of get halfway up. That's fine. Maybe we can get all the way up. Another thing is if you're all the way up, you can get up here and you can just come down as far as when you think you're going to crash to the floor and then come up again. Anyway, so doing what you need to do in the amount of time it's going to take me to do 4. That was 1. We're making a group of muscles and body parts cooperate and work together that don't usually have things to work together toward. Of course, I lost count. I'm not sure, maybe 1 more. And then we'll all be down on the floor. Supta Visasana number 1. Lightening up on the hands a little, perhaps. And then belt into the left hand, taking that leg out to the diagonal side. And keep that pelvis level on the floor. Going to stand on your right leg. Making the shape with the whole body, not just with your left hand gripping the pelvis. And then up to the center, passing off to the right hand, left arm reaches out to the side, taking that right leg, pulling back in the abdominal muscles, twisting toward the left through the spine. On and back up to the center. All right, here we go, rolling back up, resting the way through the left leg. And then setting the belt aside, coming back up into the forward bend where we came from. And then we'll concave back, inhale and exhale. Stepping back with the right leg. Come up in the warrior number one on the left. With that big circle of breath up the front, and then that lower half of the circle going down and underneath, but it comes up again ultimately. And then bringing the arms around behind, interlock the fingers, roll the shoulders out, lifting the chest to lift the chin. And then reaching long over that left thigh. Try not to collapse. A long line from the top of the head out the backs of the hands into the right foot. And then releasing the hands into the floor, stepping back to the plank through the Vinyasa, downward facing dog. Nicely stretch out for the palms of your hands there on the floor. And then we'll lift our left leg up. And bending the knee dog at the high flyer high knees. And through to the lunge. And then Parsvottanasana. Maybe getting your block, if you have just one, it can go on the right hand. Ground the back heel down like the warrior two as we straighten the left leg. And then taking a few breaths, doing a long and flat through the spine. And then pouring over that left leg. And you can stay here or taking it up into a standing split. Making that right leg pull itself up if you're going up. And then we'll bring the right leg down or step the right leg forward, and we're all in the forward bend. Coming up to standing, big front body. And around to Namaste. All right, then we will tree pose, bringing our left leg up. So if you're moving to somewhere else in the room, take your belt with you this time because we're going to use it in a moment. All right, first tree pose, bringing the left leg up. Take a moment, Namaste, steadiness. Reaching down through the right leg, bringing the left. And even though it's a bent leg, still
like when we were lying on our back on the floor with the leg out in the belt. Kind of feel that pelvis level, reaching through the inner thigh. Lift a little higher to bring that left leg down. Inhale and exhale, Namaste, steadiness. And then we are going to get our belt, or you could use the big toe. We're going to do Padangusthasana number 2, the out to the side one. So I'm going to talk us going directly there to the side. If you really want to come front and then move it side, you can do that instead. Actually, let's all do that. We'll come front and then carry it to the side like we did on the floor. All right, getting the belt around the right foot if you're going to use it. And then take a moment into Tadasana. Even though it might feel funny with the belt around the foot. And then we'll bring that right leg up, holding closer to your foot than you think you can, as we extend the right leg straight in front, Padangusthasana number 1. And then carrying your leg to the diagonal side. So feel like you're moving with your own body, and the belt is helping, even though, like I said before, it's doing 95% maybe, but you still want that 5%. And we take 2 more breaths. And then floating that right leg down. Inhale and exhale, letting all that settle. And then we will go to the other side. Belt around the left foot. Take a moment getting yourself in that Tadasana Samasthiti. Coming from a place of strength, centeredness, and balance. As we bring that left leg up. Holding on to the belt, close to the foot. And extending that left leg out straight in front. Padangusthasana number 1. And as you carry that leg to the side, feel like you're moving from your own hip joint out to the foot. And maybe 2 more breaths. And then floating that leg down. You can set the belt aside. Samasthiti, steadiness. And here we are at the front of the mat.
And with big front body yawn. And diving. Concave back, folding over. And then we will jump or step back through the vinyasa, downward facing dog. And there we all are, downward facing dog. And let's lift our right leg up. So we're headed to the pigeon, lifting the right leg up. Bending the knee dog at the high fire height. And there's our pigeon-shaped leg, taking the right knee to the right elbow, sliding down, maybe a block under the sitting bone, into the pigeon. Taking a few more breaths here in the high pigeon. And palming forward and over. Sweeping pigeon. Up. And then we'll retrieve that right leg, sliding it behind us, coming into the Sphinx. Pulling the sides back, center line forward. And calm me down. And then let's reach the arms out wide to the side. If you have room in your space, you could also bend the elbows and do a cactus shape arm or anything else. So we're going to come up in Salabhasana, lifting up with the straight legs. We can use a different arm position if you want or need space. As we lengthen out. And if you've got those long arms, here we are gliding through the air. Trying to press up to the ceiling. Trying to breathe. And then calming down. And back up to downward facing dog. And we'll go on the left. All right, lifting that left leg up. Bending the knee dog at the high fire height. And then left knee to the left elbow into the pigeon. Taking a few breaths in high pigeon or a few more. And coming forward and over, sleeping pigeon. Yep. And we will slide that left leg back into the Sphinx. And this time, let's pick ourselves up onto our knees and we'll do Ustrasana, nice big spacious back bend. All right, so here we are. Let's reach our arms out wide to the side. And then take a moment, feeling that Salavasana-ness, the back muscles all contracting, maybe doing a little lean back or arch back. And then keep all those back muscles working as you continue into Ustrasana. So you don't just want to hang yourself into it. You want to engage the back body, the muscles there, so they support the bones. So you're not crunching into those vertebrae. And then coming back up. Lift up through the arms, descending, reaching down. And we'll do a couple micro cats and cows, tilting forward, or you can come up on the knees if that'll work better. And then we will make our way down to the floor for Shavasana. And maybe, if you want, doing Supta Baddha Konasana, feet together, knees out to the side for your Shavasana. Ah. Every exhale, letting go a little more. And then breathing back into your body, into the room. Moving the fingers and toes, maybe circling wrists and ankles. And stretching the arms up overhead. And the knees. And gently making your way up to sitting. Sitting in any comfortable position with the long and spacious spine. Taking a few more moments, sitting quietly inside yourself. Thank you for coming.